A big help for the Far East for hurricane restoration efforts.
It's the third fire in 3 days. Fire officials are again in the shantytown here in Gamble Heights. We'll have the details coming up in the Bahamas tonight.
And a red carpet affair for deserving youth last evening. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
More international aid for hurricane restoration efforts, this time to the tune of more than $1 million. Good evening, everyone. I'm Karissma Robinson. As international aid pours in, major steps are being taken to bring relief to residents affected by that monster storm. While giving an update in Parliament today, the nation's chief gave a breakdown on the number of homes destroyed. 123 in Acklins, 50 in Crooked Island, 23 in Rum Cay, 227 in San Salvador, and 413 in Long Island. Prime Minister Christie also said government has ordered container homes as temporary shelter for those with no place to live. And as local efforts continue to assist those victims, government is receiving help from the Far East.
I wish to announce also this morning that NEMA has received notification through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that the Japanese government, through the Japanese aid program, has made a grant of $1.7 million to assist with disaster recovery. And here I would like to single out also, Mr. Speaker, the work of SEDEMA. And for the purpose of that, the Japanese government, Mr. Speaker, making a donation of disaster preparedness and response equipment, and with immediate effect. But Mr. Speaker, I would also like to take this opportunity to single out the work of SEDEMA, CARELEC, PAHO, and the OAS in terms of their immediate response to our situation. Mr. Speaker, there yet remains a tremendous amount of work ahead of us.
Speaking more about the reconstruction efforts, Prime Minister Christie again stressed that strict building codes will be enforced.
The technical staff of the Disaster Recovery and Reconstruction Unit, with the help of other government agencies, is compiling the list of homes that will have to be constructed to accommodate those persons whose homes were destroyed and have no source of permanent shelter. The Department of Housing has provided designs of housing constructed following previous hurricanes. However, the foundation designs have to be adjusted to account for higher flood levels experienced during Hurricane Joaquin. Local contractors will be given the opportunity to construct the homes in the various islands. It is expected that there will be a close liaison between all of the engineering teams to ensure that there is no overlapping and, more importantly, that nothing falls between the cracks.
Transport and Aviation Minister, the Honorable Glenys Hanna-Martin, again setting the record straight with regards to the Doppler radar system at LPIA, which authorities say was working during the storm. Earlier this week, a local daily suggested that the electronic device was inoperable, providing log reports to support the claim. Well, the minister again lashed back, clarifying the matter. She also took the time once again to commend local meteorologists for making the right call with regards to the Southern Islands when their international counterparts didn't see it fit.
When the forecaster speaks to the radar, he's speaking to the monitor, not the radar itself. The radar is in a different location, so he doesn't have the ability to give a prognosis on the radar. He speaks to the monitor that is at his post, and that in the instance where it was noted that it was not operating, the forecaster indicated to the director that on that occasion, when he said it was not operating, he was seeing what they call ground clutter. And I'm advised that ground clutter is often caused by interference from neighboring radars, and that it was resolved without intervention by any engineer, and that the next posting that we see on that, was operational, noted to be operational. within hours, that the senior officials of the Bahamas Department of Meteorology strongly advised the Miami Hurricane Center to issue warnings for the southeastern Bahamas, the area which became the absolute focus of Hurricane Joaquin, and ultimately that the Bahamas took the unilateral decision, and we now know it was the correct decision.
Also chiming in on the issue was Fort Charlotte Member of Parliament Andre Rollins, who asked this question.
This has become very contentious. I'm asking through you if the minister would state categorically that, as far as she is aware, there was complete operability of the radar equipment at the Met Department, sufficient to allay any concerns that there is, in fact, no cover-up on the part of the government with respect to this matter.
Why would a forecaster expect to see that kind of activity in an area outside of the effective range of the radar? I think I answered, Speaker, and I don't think it's fair for the member for Fort Charlotte to try to throw aspersions from his place on the matter. I thought I went into quite a significant detail on the matter.
Kyle Member of Parliament V. Alfred Gray telling residents of his constituency that the road to recovery will be a long one. A number of them are here in the capital after their homes were destroyed in the storm. He met with them last evening to get some feedback from them and to give them the assurance that the necessary help is available.
The devastation is going to be with us for a little while. It's going to be a long road ahead to the recovery and the reconstruction process. The government has decided to ensure that you have accommodations and food and water, and to the extent possible, social services will provide those things. If you need help, you don't have family here, go to social services.
Rebuilding efforts, Minister Gray used the opportunity to make this appeal.
I have invited you here to see whether there is anybody who is willing to say, Mr. Gray, when you start the cleanup process, I will go and help my people to get back on their feet again. If you can't, no problem. I'm not trying to force anybody to do anything, but I am not offering you a job. I have asked you to come to see how many of you will make a 3 or 4 day sacrifice.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Lettuce, designed for extra miles.